Hey, we're here from the right and we're back to a new Simpsons review, and we are reviewing the next episode of season 2, and it is Itchy and Scratchy and Margie. The episode starts with Marjorie making some pork chops or steak, and Homer saying that those are the best that she makes. Eventually, we see Krusty the Clown. Like, yeah, we haven't seen him, I feel like, forever. And we also see Itchy Scratchy, which lighting a fuse, bam. And yeah. And oh yeah, and speaking of Maggie, yeah, after yeah, you're gonna see what happens with Maggie for sure. So Homer decides to build a spice a spice shelf a spice shelf for Marjorie, which he seems to do okay, but Maggie comes out of nowhere with a sledgehammer, hits Homer on the head, knocking him out, with paint going into the gas faucet. And Marjorie's like, what kind of innocent baby would do something like this? And she sees that Itchy and Scratchy are beating each other and trying to stab each other. And yeah, Maggie tries to stab Homer, which Marjorie then comes to realize that why cartoons are violent, have violence in them. So well, Bert Bart talks to his friends about it, but they decide to do something about it, and Homer is trying to do some coverage at work. Yeah, and Bart goes over to his friends to watch the show. So as Lisa and Marjorie basically is writing a note about violence in cartoons, which I know you're gonna say, has she never seen Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry? Which Itchy and Scratchy are pretty much Tom and Jerry. But like Looney Tunes and all cartoons, they have violence, right? I mean, look again, Looney Tunes for a big example, because Elmer Fudd with his guns and Yosemite Sam with his guns, right? And saying what kind of adults would laugh at something like this, and Homer's laughing. So she has her notes ready, which she pretty much writes it. Krusty the Clown and all of the studio members get it, but they toss it away. Even the manager or the boss, and he calls Marjorie, and she is going to do something about it by placing signs of basically doing it. And Maggie-san, I can't. Maggie-san, I'm sorry, I can't. But Maggie-san, of what Maggie-san says, stop me before I kill my father again. Like, wow. Like, seriously. Which they don't seem that it's working, of course, but after everything that's going on. And, well, more people start to come. Lots of people start to come. Their dinner is not as they thought it would be. Krusty the Clown is not pleased because all the audience are not pleased. But Marjorie is telling them about the violence and stuff, which the manager, boss, I'm just gonna call him, wants Marjorie now and behind it, and they're trying to figure out what to do. Either drop an anvil on her and stuff. Yeah, doing different threats and stuff. And yeah, she's still. Which eventually, they put Marjorie as a character of telling them to stop the violence, and eventually, Itchy and Scratchy hit hit the head off of the squirrel, or Marjorie's squirrel character. Then the news, pretty much just talking about with the violence and stuff, and talk about with Marjorie and why she finds it to be violent and why everybody else doesn't seem to be violent. And males just starts coming in, countless males, countless male. The Spice Rack is doing good, and then she gets a call, which they're doing a storyboard for a new Itchy and Scratchy, and they're needing opinions to make it not violent, which is to Sarapie, which they say is actually different. Homer gets interested in a commercial, and Marjorie lets him watch TV. But yeah, we say that it's not as they think. Even they're very disgusted. Homer gets scared, but Maggie's just holding trying to give Homer some lemonade. And yeah, all the kids pretty much go and play. Yeah, they go and play, and Krusty doesn't have no audience when he sings. Homer and Lisa want to go and do some stuff, so they're excused. Homer is actually very surprised about this. And now we see a statue, Leonardo, which they want to ban because of his nudity, the statue being naked. And they try to get Marjorie to join them, but she doesn't. So they leave and they try to say what's wrong with it. And then back on to the so that Marjorie was in. We talk about the statue. And Marjorie doesn't think it's anything wrong with it. And then she comes to realize that maybe the same thing, maybe it was not right to do the whole thing with um changing the things of her favorite or her kid's favorite television show. And the, then Itchy and Scratchy are back to normal. And Maggie has a dart gun and suits a picture of Homer. Homer is very happy with Marjorie with the statue and talking about all the kids seeing it, and that's the episode. Yeah, a really good episode, and very funny too that they actually make an episode where somebody's actually disgusted about cartoon violence, like characters blowing up each other. Again, see, Marjorie really needs to see Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes has a lot of it, for sure. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Catch you on the next one. Bye.